Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds in the studio. Bright and early Monday morning. Kansas City Chiefs took care of business in Cleveland. Rather, the defense did against the Browns. 6 takeaways overall. Your thoughts on the game, sir?
Because the Chiefs needed a yawner, and they got one. In the National Football League, we talk about professional athletes and so forth and so on, but boy, the Cleveland Browns were as inept as any team. I think they couldn't get out of their own way. 6 turnovers, 4 of them fumbles, 2 of them interceptions. Good gracious, what a Chiefs didn't need to do anything, and they really didn't. Patrick Mahomes, a rather pedestrian 19 completions and then 38 attempts, only 158 yards. That's way below what he can do. Did get 2 TDs out of it, and the Chiefs only had 132 yards rushing, but they didn't need to. Cleveland just could not possibly have offered any less of a challenge. The Chiefs had 2 recoveries of those 3 fumbles and the 4 picks. Jameis Winston just simply doesn't keep his head. He was also sacked 5 times. This was really, in all honesty, an awful performance by the once mighty Browns. When I was a kid growing up, Mike, they were the team with Jimmy Brown, Paul Brown, the owner and the coach, and Jimmy Brown and Otto Graham and Dante Lavelli and people of this caliber. They beat everybody. They were the team, but they have slipped badly. Now, for any drama, and there wasn't any as far as the game is concerned, for only drama, it's Patrick Mahomes leaving the game with about 5 minutes to go with obviously ankle damage. How much? It's not broken, that the Chiefs do know, which can be, interestingly enough, a broken ankle probably is a little bit better than a sprained one because it heals a little bit better than that, and it's the tissue that's healing. Now, having had them, he'll be very sore today and probably tomorrow. Whether or not they put him in against the Houston Texans, I would suspect he'll get a start and then see how he goes. Yeah,
and again, it's been covered before that he's got some sort of looser tendon kind of thing going on, and that's why he's able to work through these high ankle sprains. But at the same time, Steelers lost yesterday thanks to your boys in Philly. And I can't believe the Bills and the Lions going 40 points apiece. That just is insane. But you know what? In my opinion, I think we give old Carson a chance. Definitely against the Steelers, but maybe against the Texans too.
We'll see. We'll see what works out because, after all, the Chiefs do not have home field yet. Buffalo Bills going into Detroit and beat the Detroit Lions 48-42. Boy, they're scoring some points. Defense is also giving up some points. But the Bills, to get a win on the road against an NFC team like that, couldn't beat the Rams, but they could beat the Detroit Lions. Interesting, that's the Lions' second loss of the year. Philadelphia also only has 2 losses on the year, but it's the Lions who own the tiebreaker in that game. So Philadelphia needs a little bit more help. As far as the Chiefs are concerned, you mentioned Houston, and that game is next Saturday. That's a Saturday noontime game, folks. I think it'll probably be pretty good up in Arrowhead Stadium. I'm not sure, but looks like it'll be a fairly comfortable day. Then Christmas Day, only, 4 or 5 days later, the Chiefs are back in action again, played the Pittsburgh Steelers, also a noontime game. This is 3 straight noon games that they've had. What is this?
Yeah, I mean, I love it. I think it's when you look at the Detroit-Buffalo game, you see a completely different game plan. And then you see what Kansas City does and tries to keep the game lower. Also, I wanted to get your thoughts on Tooney playing tackle yesterday. I thought he did a great job.
He's all right. He was okay. He didn't get much opposition. Run into the Myles Garrett. Gave him a pretty good little battle there. But you also noticed that Tooney got some help with a hit to the eye somewhere that took him out of there. But by the same token, Tooney's an old pro. He does a good job. New England Patriots all those years and coming back and playing now for the Chiefs. He does a good job.
That did great.
It is not interchangeable. These guys have to know the game plan and so forth and so on. But in the AFC, it's the Chiefs, the Bills, Texans, and Steelers are in. They're in the playoffs, but where they're going to be, that remains to be seen. And in the National Conference, Detroit and Philadelphia are in, and that is it right now. So the action in the NFC is going to be a whole lot more critical than what we have in the AFC.
Yes, sir. So Army-Navy, your thoughts on that game, sir?
I love the Navy. They played so very well, dominated the game, and certainly did not expect this. It was Navy 31, Army 13. Army was a 6.5-point favorite. Like I told you earlier last week, don't play this game. Anything can happen, and it did. Navy wanted it more. Both teams are going to bowl games. That's the interesting factor here. But what's also interesting is Navy knows who they're going to play. Army does not. Army's going to the Independence Bowl, and they were scheduled to play Marshall University out of Huntington, West Virginia. It's the Bears' second opponent next year. Marshall's very good, but Marshall pulled out. Why? Because they had 30 players in the transfer portal. And when you go to the transfer portal, you ain't playing. You're not going to be allowed to. So they pulled out, and Louisiana Tech from Conference USA. The committee went on a nationwide search. Balderdash. Louisiana Tech happens to be 10 miles away from Shreveport, Louisiana, where the game is played. So now we'll just move them there. Their record's 5 wins, 7 losses. Come on, Army, we'll butcher them. Anyway, Heisman Trophy was presented over the weekend. Travis Hunter of Colorado gets it in a very close vote. Ashton Shanti of Boise State was second. We talked about the game coming up now. The national championships, Mike, start this Friday. It's a Friday night game and 3 on Saturday. And the Chiefs will be playing opposite one of those games. And I think it may be, if I'm not mistaken, the Clemson-Texas game, but I am not positive on that. No, I take it back. It'd be Southern Methodist game. So we'll see how that works out. But the Chiefs play at noon. The first of the Saturday Bowl games starts at 11 o'clock, and these are the national championship playoffs. The Friday night game is Indiana versus Notre Dame, and the Saturday night game is Tennessee and Ohio State. And the winners all go to the national quarterfinals after that. It's pretty good.
It is. And hopefully you holding on to some chocolate chips, my friend.
Very few.
Other teams obviously have got bowl games that are just those bowl games, and some of those teams have got players that are wanting to transfer to other teams. How long is the portal open this year?
The portal closes down on Saturday, December the 28th, 3 days after Christmas. Closes down. Now, does that mean the players can't leave at that time? You just can't declare yourself in the portal. That stops. That comes to an end. But the players can really leave any time, so it depends on the offer. It reopens again for football April the 16th. So there's a long period there where players can mull over what they're going to do and whether or not they want to transfer, whether or not they've had any offers. A nil offer is supposedly against the rules, but they use that all the time. Hey, you can make $500,000 here playing for us. Who's going to turn that down? Well, nobody. Bottom line is this. Portal for football closes December 28th. Missouri State's lost some players. Missouri has lost some. But that's the crapshoot that you have to... It has to be concentrated on by coaches and officials and players and so forth. It needs changing, but so far it has not been.
And you can see the teams that are really setting the focus on watching other teams and kind of using that front office mentality that the NFL does when it comes to this business in the NCAA. What happened in college basketball this weekend?
Well, both Missouri State teams played. The Lady Bears got a very nice win over Little Rock. Used to be called Arkansas Little Rock, UALR, but it's now just Little Rock. 67-45, Lady Bears beat them at home. Mizzou whipped up on Long Island University, and they're just not very good at all. Mizzou 88, Long Island 61. Now we get to the Drury teams. How about the Bears, first of all? The Bears went out to Pullman, Washington to play Washington State, former Pac-12 team, but now in their own conference. They and Oregon State didn't get chosen by anybody. And the Washington State team is good, Mike. They're an NCAA caliber, tournament caliber team. They beat the Bears 91-78, had great shooting. Bears didn't play badly, but Washington State played great basketball, shooting over 50% for the game. Now, the Drury men did not play. They will play tonight against Central Christian. But the Drury Lady Panthers did. They went to the University of Illinois and played in the second game of a doubleheader on a neutral court. The Illinois women's team played in the first game. Drury's opponent was Grand Valley State. Grand Valley State women's team is the #1 team in America, Division II. Oh, my. 104-63. Drury got smashed in this one. And reading the post-game comments from Casey Bailey, Drury's coach, we were outgunned big time. I think that says it all. 104-63. Drury is not accustomed to getting smashed like that. The Grand Valley State's very good. Very, very good.
Well, Ned, you stay dry today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.